It is hard to believe that the college basketball season is upon us, and what a better way to kick off the 2025-26 season here at Ballin in Boutwell. High school teams all over the state here to see two teams that are dominant in the SEC and the ACC, as the Alabama Crimson Tide will take on the Florida State Seminoles in the first ever women's game in Ballin at Boutwell. A beautiful Thursday afternoon in downtown Birmingham for a women's basketball matinee as the Florida State Seminoles take on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Welcome inside the historic Boutwell Auditorium alongside the legend Mo Finley. I'm Ariel Schaefer. Mo, it's the unofficial start to the college basketball season. However, with these two teams here today playing this game, gives both of them a good idea where they gauge heading into the season.
It will, and here's the thing. These games no longer feel like exhibition games. These games are competitive. If the past two nights are any indication of what we'll see here today, we're in for a treat.
Yeah, and then both teams losing production from last year's roster. Florida State only have 3 returning players from last season, losing their top 3 scorers, and this is a high-power offense averaging 87 points per game last year.
They play fast, they play up-tempo, only 10 players on their roster. When you don't have a ton of depth, you got to be in great shape.
The Crimson Tide losing 61% of their scoring from last year, however, do return some depth with 8 players returning, including 2 key players in Essence Cody and Carly Weathers.
And the Crimson Tide also 7 newcomers, including 4 freshmen. They don't have a ton of experience, but they have great talent, and they'll lean on those upperclassmen this season.
And we'll get a first look at both the Noles and the Crimson Tide as we are waiting. Tip-off here at Boutwell Auditorium. It is a sold-out crowd today. There is a lot of kiddos here looking to see some really good basketball as we are about to get underway. Tip-off at center court, and it's going to be a good one.
I didn't get any days out of school for basketball when I was a kid.
Oh, no, I want to too. All right, right away, Florida State controls the tip. Shavers right away. We're looking at the starters here. Shavers just one of the transfers for Florida State this season, and she gets the Noles on the board first.
And the Noles wasting no time attacking the paint. They look to score quick. Everybody puts the basketball on the floor. Great job by Shavers early.
And then we mentioned Weathers and Cody. However, Diana Collins and Tamia Scott also making their way into the starting lineup. Weathers out on the top, passes it to Timmons. Timmons drives, looks, good defense from Florida State. Back to Weathers, goes up and down below. Cody looking for the and one, but that's the type of post presence that Alabama really wants to make a standard this season.
And that's it, Coach, the leading returning scorer for the Crimson Tide. Coach Curry mentioned earlier to us, they want to play inside out. That starts with Cody.
And then right away, Florida State attacking the rim. That is the first point in the Nole uniform for Panya Davis, the #1 JUCO player coming out, 6'6" from New Mexico Junior College, right away providing a presence for the Noles.
And she will have to do a lot of heavy lifting, as you mentioned. Only 10 players on the roster. The way they play, you got to know the #1 JUCO player. She's going to be featured early. She's going to get a ton of opportunities because they play so up tempo.
Not only is she a dominant force down in the paint for the Noles, she also can fill up a stat sheet with rebounding, assists, a great passer. And when you're talking to head coach Brooke Wakehoff from Florida State, they only have, 10 players on their team. However, they were looking to add some more presence in the post this year. They don't have a set point guard, so they did go out in the transfer portal in order to get some height.
And the thing is, basketball is transitioning into a positionless sport, so to speak. Every player puts the basketball on the floor. The versatility is almost a necessity to be a college basketball player now. But the cool thing about Panya Davis, like I said, she has the inside ability as well as an ability to step out and score from the perimeter.
Collins at the point, looking to set Weathers, looking around. Collins back it, looks, drives, steps, stops, pops, goes for the and one, but the block by Davis.
And that's what Davis will provide. Length on the interior. She makes the pressure defense of Florida State even better because she can protect the rim.
It was a good attempt at a steal, but the refs are going to call that one on Collins. Collins not too happy about that. Neither is head coach Christy Curley for Alabama.
And here's the #1 JUCO player you mentioned, Panya Davis. making her presence felt on the defensive end earlier with the block.
And I don't know if you guys heard the crowd going. Ace Austin, one of the hometown girls, checking in for the Crimson Tide for the first time. She is going to be wearing number 1. She was Miss Alabama basketball. She had brought home a state championship for Spring Garden, Player of the Year, 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year, making her debut in the Crimson and White.
And she's a minute and a half into her freshman season, coming out here against one of the best teams in the ACC. You know, just an outstanding high school player. What'll be interesting is to see how quickly she's able to adapt to the speed of the game.
Shot up and good! One thing about Florida State, they know how to shoot the 3 ball. They ranked 20th in the nation last year, close to 9 threes per game. And right away, Florida State with an 8-0 over the Crimson Tide.
This time we see Ace Austin getting tested early. Panya Davis with the screen, elects to go underneath it. And of course, here's the thing about Florida State. They're going to shoot the basketball early. They're not waiting to get deep into the shot clock. They will take the first available shot, and they do a great job right there knocking it down.
That was Sydney Bowles, the team captain for the Noles this season, someone that's worked her way in, second season with the Noles. But right away, Timmons will score first for the Crimson Tide. Sinks that floater, and right away, Alabama's on the board.
And Timmons, a redshirt senior, she will have to provide the leadership as well as do the heavy lifting offensively as the rest of her teammates get acclimated to their new roles. As we mentioned, 7 newcomers, and 4 of those are freshmen. You see here, great dribble to separate herself, rises up for the 2-point jumper.
And right away, underneath the inbounds play, Alabama starting to make moves. Tamia Scott getting her first start in the Crimson White this season. 3 years at Middle Tennessee, came in one of the newbies for the Crimson Tide. Right there, Bowles. Look, Cody with the rebound pushes it to Austin. The Tide in transition, looking to set up here. Austin looks, steps back, and gets they thought it was an and one. It's going to be a no shot. That was a beautiful step back by Austin.
Well, let's take a look at the replay and see exactly what happened here. Ace Austin does use that left arm just to create a little separation here initially, but you got to love the confidence of the freshman here. I mean, she's not even 4 minutes into her first game.
That was a beautiful fadeaway. Just got to watch our arm check right away. Shavers, though, deep for 3. Timmons will get the rebound. We'll bring it up for the Crimson Tide. Cody signaling the screen. Timmons goes the other way, gets in the lane, steps side. Weathers for 3 and sinks it.
And that's a great job of Timmons using the screen, moving the defense with her eyes, finding the kick out in the corner.
Shavers drives, looks, goes up, trying to get the foul. Good defense by the Tide. And Alabama in transition. Weathers for 3. Looks again. Good board by Cody. Looks again up, battling down there. Will get the foul. It heads to the line.
And here's the thing if you're Florida State. We mentioned only 10 players on the roster. Transition D has to be a priority. As we take a closer look here, Timmons probing the lane, kicking out for the 3. But as I mentioned, you've got to make sure that transition defense is a priority, because here's the thing, you can't afford to get cheap fouls just because you're not paying attention or because you're getting back late.
Cody will go to the line. Checking in for Timmons will be Wyatta Jennings. Will get her first time this season. Cody, one of the leaders last year, not only provides a dominant paint presence, but knows how to get to the line. She's one of the ones that for Alabama just has been so consistent in order to get better and making herself ready for the season. And that all depends on her work that she does in the offseason.
And here's the thing, they're going to lean on her a ton because she's the leading returning scorer as well as leading returning rebounder. Coach Curry's already said they're going to play inside out. That starts with her. She has to be effective around the basket, but also she's going to get a lot of attention. She's got to be able to go and convert those free throws.
The first full court press we've seen from the Crimson Tide defense. Florida State able to break it. Sets it back up to Shavers. Shavers looks for the pivots. Good steal, Ace. Here we go, Crimson Tide in transition. Jennings up over, looking to make those bunnies. But hey, the Crimson Tide goes up, gets the board, gets the putback, and will head to the line.
And the time Ramsey able to secure the offensive rebound amongst 4 Seminoles. We see the layup here, not quite able to go. But again, we talked about the depth. You can't afford to give up second chance opportunities, but also you can't afford to compound those by creating foul situations. Tied here, drawing lots of early fouls.
Lancia Ramsey to the line. Misses the first one. Someone getting back into her groove for the Crimson Tide. And Alabama's going to take a timeout on the court to regroup, reset. A fun opening minutes here at Boutwell Auditorium. The Crimson Tide leads Florida State 9-8.
Whatever you want, it's right there. You see it, you want it, go get it.
Asia Wilson's on top, top, top. Can't take her spot, spot, spot. She's a real one, through. Always does what she'll do.
Oh my goodness, this is a great feeling.
She won MVP, P, 1, 2, and 3. Her game is T. She made history, free. From the mid, it's a rap. All buckets, no cap. They said she wasn't enough. So she did it for us. And if you talk smack, she's gonna clap back.
You know better.
Her drips elite. It can't be beat. She say one is clear.
Period.
'Cause it's a top tier.
Asia Wilson's on top, top. Can't take her spot.
Welcome back inside the historic Boutwell Auditorium. A slow start for the Crimson Tide. However, Mo being able to capitalize on second chance opportunities and also in the paint in order to take the lead.
Well, I think Alabama did a really good job of weathering the initial storm of Florida State offense. Florida State started the game off extremely fast. Alabama, bid their time, just kind of waited along, did not rush, didn't get impatient on offense, and they were able to come and cut into this and overtake the lead.
And when we were speaking to head coach Christy Curry, who enters her 13th season at the helm of Alabama, he mentioned that today they're playing to win. Just wants to see what this team is made of, considering how much production they've lost.
Well, playing to win is going to be really, really fun to watch for us because ultimately, you think about preseason games, getting players more experience, especially when you have a team that doesn't have a ton of it. You want to utilize this time to give them some on-court time to learn. But Coach Curry already said, hey, they are playing to win, so you'll see their main players play a ton of minutes today.
Scott looks down. Jennings looks and capitalizes down on the paint. The Crimson Tide and Florida State, we're tied at 11 apiece. Both teams playing full court defense, looking to try to see what they have in all these different packages.
And if you're the Tide, you've got to love the fact that Florida State wants to play full court defense as well, because the energy that they exert on defense, they won't have to come down and score.
Reish looks for Shaver. Shaver's down in the corner. Looks to battle through traffic. Stops, looks, fakes. Good defense by the Crimson Tide.
And Alabama has done a really good job of containing the Seminoles off the dribble, forcing them to take multiple dribbles. The more you dribble, the more you're helping the defense, makes rotations much easier.
Alabama once again driving to the paint and capitalizing. The past two made baskets has all been thanks to just being able to drive and set themselves up for success down low.
And the Seminoles here, we see a wide open three, just a catch and shoot shot, not a defender close by. And here Alabama does a great job attacking, getting into the paint. And we've seen interior players. We've seen Ramsey, we've seen Cody kind of camping out around the basket, around the dunker spot. And they've been able to capitalize off of great feeds.
Alonzia Ramsey, the 6-foot junior from Delray Beach, Florida, someone that head coach Christy Curry has been really waiting for just to really bloom and has high hopes for her this season.
The thing is, she's a junior. She's going to be called on to come out here and contribute on both ends of the floor. It's a perfect opportunity because no one has more experience than your seniors and your juniors. And so for her, I mean, production will be key to their success.
Ramsey sinks that one. We'll get a quick breather. The Crimson Tide. Not a full court press, however, Weathers up in the court. Looks. Tide looking to trap up in the top corner. Another 3 attempt for Florida State. Ball ends up in the hands of Weathers, who brings it up.
That's a really good job, Alabama. They're slowing the pace down, utilizing the zone, and also rebounding out of the zone.
Austin steps, looks, succeeding, got it in! The first point of her young Alabama career.
And that's an easy 1-2 dribble pull up there.
The Tide trying to have to go out on Tatum Green, one of the star three-pointers for Florida State. Weathers, though, looks, stops, pop, looks down low. Looks, works Jones, and gets it in. Alabama, the reason why they went so hard in the transfer portal was be able to apply depth down low, something that they thought last season they needed to work on.
And in this game here today, they'll have an opportunity to exploit the lack of depth from the Seminoles. Davis knows she can't foul. She can't afford to foul. Wanted to use her length that time against Jones in the paint. Didn't quite work out.
You can see the Crimson Tide collapsing on that too. Nia Scott up, in, not quite. When you look at this execution from Austin, the 1-2 dribble just pulls up beautifully.
Nice, easy, smooth shot. And you know what, as a freshman, as a young player who wants to get their confidence going, you need to make an easy basket to kind of settle the nerves a little bit. And of course, Alabama doing a great job in the paint this first quarter.
Crimson Tide in a 1-1-3 press. Florida State brings it to the half court. Austin looking for good defense. Kick out for the Noles. Looks to try to go up. The Crimson Tide rebounding. Pressure from Florida State will end up being jump ball in favor of the Crimson Tide. Will stay that possession.
And defensively, Alabama has done a fantastic job of limiting Florida State to one shot. This time, driving to the basket, a challenge shot, 3 white jerseys around her. And we see the hustle here from both players.
Just gotta be able to get that out early. Austin brings it up for the Tide, looks to go all the way down. Looks for the up and under, good pass to Cody. Scott looks, steps, goes up and in. A fantastic drive, dribble penetration from Scott.
And that's the inside-out basketball Coach Curry was talking about earlier. That ball found its way into Cody's hands, and of course she's gonna draw a crowd. She does a great job of kicking it back out. And of course, being able to attack the back closeout. Scott finds an easy layup.
Cody up at the point, looks, stops for the 3. A little hard off of that one. Kubik will get the rebound. Back on the court for the Noles. Bowles up at the point. Kubik looks for the screen, tries to go the other way. Sets up on the wing. Bowles goes all the way and gets the foul and will head to the line.
It's time for Florida State finally getting an opportunity to stop their bleeding. We've seen several consecutive stops by Alabama on defense. Here we see the inside-out pass and driving. The lane just sort of opens up right there, nice and easy.
Bowles will shoot for Florida State. Just a moment ago, some more substitutions. This time, Jasmine Shavers coming in for Florida State. And the first time we're gonna see for Alabama, Lourdes da Silva Costa will check in, number 17 from Sweden. Coach Curry saying that she's someone that's a lot of fun to be around, definitely will be a spark plug for the Crimson Tide this season.
Well, I think if she hangs out with Essence Cody, she'll be more than just a spark plug. She'll be a major contributor when it's all said and done.
Bowles nails it. Makes it a 5-point game. Crimson Tide Timmons with the ball. One-on-one with Shavers. Alabama running the spread. Timmons tries to look down the lane, gets it up. Good block by Florida State. Maya Bonner. And right to Davis in transition. Good defensive swat away from Carly Weathers. Gives Alabama the ball. And that is the type of plays that head coach Christy Curry says that Carly Weathers does so well.
And Panya Davis is looking to the official just to check. Here we see great on-ball defense that leads to a block. And here, transition defense. Weathers able to strip it off of Panya Davis's leg. Great pass.
Up and under. Essence Cody, the 1-2 punch with De Silva Costa. That is going to be dangerous for the Crimson Tide this season.
And De Silva Costa, we've seen guard to big passing, great interior passing from both bigs on that play.
Shavers goes up for the drive, looking for the foul, but good Crimson Tide defense. That's one thing that Cody does really well with being able to just get her body up in front. But look at that, just beautiful up and under, fantastic. Crimson Tide maintains possession. Cody up in the corner, back door. Weathers tries to go up. Good block by Kubik.
That's a great reaction there. Kubik recognizing the backdoor cut, rotating over, defending the initial shot, and then having the wherewithal to throw it off of Weathers' leg. The one thing Alabama's also done, they're forcing Florida State to play defense in the half court. And when teams want to score, you can't score without the ball. They're forcing them to be patient on defense.
Under a minute to go in the opening quarter. Shavers, Kubik looks for the three, but the block from De Silva Costa. Being able to read that perfectly. Crimson Tide on the move. Scott looks, drives, sends it back to De Silva Costa. Goes, looks, sets up Weathers for the open three. Timmons with the board, being able to set that, but a really hard fall from Kubik. Teammates just making sure she's okay.
And that time she took a really weird, awkward fall, kind of hit the side of her neck first.
When you look at what De Silva Costa is able to do, just gets her body, completely blocks it from Kubik for the wide open three.
And that's great length and athleticism. Did a great job of avoiding the screens. Panya Davis attempting to screen for Kubik there for the open three.
20 seconds to go. Florida State looking to add and pull away from the deficit here. Bowles with the ball, looking to run something, clock winding down, passes up to Shavers. Shavers looks for the side jumper. Davis with the rebound, but Weathers able to swat it away. A really fun opening quarter for this historic game of women's hoops between the Crimson Tide and Florida State, and Ballin in Boutwell. The Crimson Tide just dominant, specifically down low. Second quarter will be underway soon. 22-13, all Crimson Tide. Thanks for the heroics from their post players. We'll have more second quarter action coming up after this.
Wilson's on top, top, top. Can't take her spot, spot, spot. She's a real one, through. Always does what she'll do.
Oh my goodness, this is a great feeling.
She won MVP, P, 1, 2, and 3. Her game is T. She made history, from the mid, it's a rap. All the
You know better than that.
Her drip so weak, it can't be beat. She say one is clear. Period. 'Cause it's top tier.
Angel Wilson's on top. Can't take her spot.
A high-tempo, fast first quarter. The Crimson Tide leading 22-13. At the helm for the Crimson Tide, Christy Curry, who's enters her 13th season, has 100-plus wins at 3 different schools, including Alabama, Purdue, and Texas Tech. She's one of 10 women's basketball coaches to achieve this honor. It's just someone who's just been able to elevate here down in the South, specifically at Alabama.
And it speaks to her ability to communicate and connect with players. 4 straight seasons of 20 wins at Alabama. And here's the thing, she's having to replace 3 players who got drafted into the WNBA this season. So phenomenal job by Coach Curry and her staff.
Alabama comes into this season with one of the top 25 recruiting classes between their transfers and also getting some key freshmen into the mix. And that's one thing that Coach Curry told us prior to this game. They lost 61% of their scoring from last year, 41% of their rebounding. However, she's confident in the depth, and they had 3 girls that didn't play last year due to injuries that are now starting to get back into the rotation.
Right, and here's the thing, there's no substitute for experience. And for those freshmen and those newcomers and even players who were hurt, it takes a little bit of time to kind of get back in the rhythm of being on the court, adjusting to the speed of the game and expectations. But they're going to have plenty of opportunity because, again, they don't have a ton of experience coming back. They have a ton of talent. And now you've got to nurture that talent by getting them out there.
De Silva Costa looks, drives, gets it up and in, and will get charged for the foul on that one. Will be an offensive charge, back-to-back offensive charges from Florida State and Alabama.
You know what, if I'm Coach Curry, I don't mind this play here, being aggressive, attacking the basket. She put together a very strong 3 to 4 minutes to end that first quarter on the defensive end and offensive end right there. You got to be able to play through some mistakes, and that's exactly what Coach Curry is going to allow her to do.
Bowles for 3, just nails it, her second 3 of this ball game. The team captain coming in clutch. Florida State, with the way that they love to shoot the basket, they love to get the inside out, attack the perimeter, but as well able to light it up from beyond the arc.
And Bowles, one of the returning players, one of the 3 returning players, with the leading scorer, leading three-point shooter.
De Silva Costa with a nasty drive, spins, lays it up. The athleticism is showing for the newbie in the crimson and white.
With De Silva Costa, she doesn't move like a freshman. Her confidence level doesn't say freshman. And her production over the past 5 or 6 minutes does not say freshman. She's doing a fantastic job here getting her feet wet here tonight. As we see Bowles go under the screen. Bowles is going to like that one every time. And on this end, just wheeling, dealing, great footwork here on the inside. And Bama's still doing a great job of controlling the paint and capitalizing when they have opportunities to score around the rim.
This doesn't feel like a exhibition game or a preseason game. I feel like, you know, we're in the ACC, SEC Challenge, which both teams will play. Alabama will play Clemson in this year's ACC, SEC Challenge, and Florida State will play Georgia. So some future SEC versus ACC matchups underway. Kubik looks, tries to go in the center, passes it out. Bonner 4-3, but Weathers with the board. But it's going to be a foul on Green underneath with that push to Carly Weathers.
That time Green, no need to push Weathers. Weathers had secured the defensive rebound. And this time, typically, shots are going to be rebounded, missed shots on the weak side. That time, Weathers able to beat Green to the spot. Green compounds it by fouling.
Collins pushes off Shaver. Shaver's looking for that. De Silva Costa trying to get it down low. Great help, though, backside help from Florida State and Sydney Bowles.
That time, Bowles reading the lob, recognized that Cody had position, rotated over really quickly.
Collins grabs the board for Alabama. Looks in traffic. Weathers, deep 3. A lot of chaos down low. Florida State regains possession.
And Alabama doing a really good job of continuing to pressure the basketball and contain the dribble, forcing Florida State into tough passing situations. You see here another turnoff on the dribble handoff.
Checking in for the Crimson Tide, Ace Austin will come in. De Silva Costa will take a breather. In comes number 23, Jessica Timmons for the Crimson Tide for De Silva Costa. And will take the ball out of bounds. Austin versus Shavers. Gets to the half court. Austin looking. Trying to keep that dribble alive, looking for the options. Looks, drives, steps up, trying to take the floater. Good board by the Crimson Tide. Good backside block from Kubik.
And did a really good job of blocking that shot without fouling. That time Austin had a bit of a bunny layup. Couldn't quite finish it. Kind of short-armed it a little bit.
Austin drives all the way down, passes out. Timmons, pump fakes, will end up traveling. Moving her feet just a little too quickly before she was set.
And that time a bit of a rush, catching Florida State in the closeout situation. I think Timmons had just a little more time to make a better read. That time this right wing was wide open. She had all the space in the world and just rushed it.
Green on the inbounds. Soleil Williams. Looks, drives on the right, goes up for the layup, just misses that one. Was trying to go for the foul. Crimson Tide regains possession. Weathers takes it up the floor, looks, tries for the shot. Alabama looking to get physical down, but hey, Green has been dominant with her post defense in this opening half.
And Florida State has put together a couple of really good defensive possessions. This second quarter, as we see the blocking foul called
on
Timmons. And
Timmons looking to try to set her feet there, trying to get Kubik to have that offensive foul. Just maybe her right side just maybe leans too much and wasn't fully set, wasn't fully parallel on that one.
And she was in pretty good position to take the charge. Great rotation, great recognition from Timmons that time. And I'm sure, you know, Coach Curry's not going to be upset about that particular blocking foul.
Shavers, Euros. Ball will go out of bounds, stays Florida State. They'll get the ball underneath the basket.
And Florida State having trouble manufacturing offense with the exception of the first 3 or 4 minutes of the first quarter. Alabama doing a really good job of continuing to force them to take tough contested shots.
Shavers stays tough, goes up, able to get that one. Looking for the foul though. Ref's not giving it.
And I think she may have a valid case.
Back-to-back fouls for Florida State. We have to appreciate the grit and toughness down low from Shavers. Going one-on-one, using her body over Scott. I mean, that's the experience she brings. She had back-to-back seasons at Texas Tech. She came in transfer from Texas Tech this season, scoring over 500 points. For back-to-back seasons, ranked 8th in the Big 12 in scoring. Just a great two-way player. Someone that Coach Wyckoff really wanted to bring on this team to make a difference.
And that type of offensive production is welcome, especially in a system such as Florida State's where they're going to play up-tempo, where they're looking for guards to lead the charge on the offensive end.
All the way out, Jennings in, sinks it!
And that's the transition defense for Florida State that hampered them a little bit in the first half. That time, not recognizing the shooters. Alabama doing a great job of spacing the floor, pitching ahead.
Kubik looks, takes it up and in, looking for that little layup. Good board though by Ramsey. They get caught on that foul, just a little too aggressive. Got her arms linked up. Ball, actually, it was on Avery Treadwell. Was gonna have that foul.
And to be honest, that's a great foul from Treadwell here. You see Weathers finding the open shooter in the corner that time. Florida State late to recognize her, couldn't get a hand up in time. But as I mentioned, that foul on Treadwell, pretty good foul because Alabama had numbers. And if she doesn't foul, there's probably another open look from three.
Scott looks for three of her own. Davis able to get the board. Williams looks, steps, deep three, hits off the backboard a little too much. Just seemed like Florida State trying to establish some offensive rhythm, but just can't really get their footing.
Well, they play fast, and they're not going to all of a sudden stop playing the way that they play just based on the score because they can score points in a hurry.
Back-to-back threes for the Tide. Carly Weathers that time. But you were saying, too, just forcing it.
Well, but the issue when you shoot quick, you've got to get, and you don't make it, you got to get back on defense. And so that's part of the issue. You know, it's part of the trade-off.
Reesh uses her pivot. Good stop and pop from Ali Kubik. She's capable of making those mid-range floaters. Has that senior experience. Someone that can maybe be the offensive spark plug that Florida State needs.
And Florida State, they have to replace so much offensive production. They're going to have to do it by committee, but they're also going to have to do it in a smart manner.
Well, a fun second quarter. Alabama leads by 10 thanks to back-to-back threes, one from Jennings and one from one of the senior leaders in Carly Weathers. Alabama dominating on both phases. We'll have more second quarter action to come in the historic Ballin at Boutwell. We'll be right back after this.
Whatever you want, it's right there. You see it, you want it, go get it.
Asia Wilson's on top, top, top. Can't take her spot, spot, spot. She's a real one, through. Always does what she'll do.
Oh my goodness, this is a great feeling.
She won MVP, P, 1, 2, and 3. Her game is T. She made history, free. From the mid, it's a rap. All buckets, no cap. They said she wasn't enough. So she did it for us. And if you talk smack, she's gonna clap back.
You know you know better than that.
Her drift's elite. It can't be beat. She say one is clear. Period. 'Cause it's a top tier.
Asia Wilson's on top, top. Can't take her spot.
Welcome back to Birmingham, Alabama Crimson Tide, 30-20 over Florida State. At the helm for the Noles, Brooke Wyckoff, her fourth consecutive season leading the charge, has over 80 wins at the helm, produced the highest scoring team in the nation last year, close to 87 points per game. Last year, the Noles made their 23rd ever NCAA tournament appearance, where they won, knocking off George Mason, and that was the first NCAA tournament win for the Noles since 2019. And you have to just think, too, just someone that's an alum, had her jersey retired as a Florida State Seminole. A good example of what you can do when you work hard in a program like this.
Right, and she's going to garner all the respect that she deserves. Listen, throw out all the other numbers. Whenever your number is hanging up somewhere, that you have instant credibility with everyone who walks in that building.
Absolutely. Williams looks down low for Davis, tries to get that little pass in the lane. Alabama had 3 bodies being able to return that one. Austin off the screen, looks for the pick and roll. Ramsey tries to go up, but it's going to be a jump ball. Good defense, though, by Reesh for Florida State.
And that's 2 really good possessions, defensive showings by both teams that time, guarding pick and roll, utilizing the weak side to rotate over. As you see, right in time, great jump ball there.
Timmons looks for that jumper. Florida State doing a good job of crashing the board. Shavers on that one, brings it up, looks to take her defender one-on-one, and this time will able to get that contact and will head to the line. It's been a drought for Florida State trying to get anywhere close to the charity stripe.
Well, Bama's done a really good job of contesting shots without fouling, and Shavers, she's not going to stop attacking. She's even after a dead ball situation, she's going to continue to push the pace and push the basketball, and that time she's able to attack and catch Alabama sleeping, so to speak.
Jasmine Shavers, coming from Texas Tech, where she was able to get her degree, will be a senior here for Florida State for 2 consecutive seasons. Ranked 8th in the Big 12 in scoring, had back-to-back seasons scoring 500 points or more. We mentioned just a good 2-way player and a big get for the transfer portal for Florida State.
And a great score for Florida State, as you mentioned, at Texas Tech, did a great job of scoring the basketball 500+ points. And here's the thing, right? A scorer like her, she saw two free throws go down, and that's going to even increase her confidence. We see her take one there, spinning, fading, can't quite get it to go.
Austin steps up for the deep three. Doesn't get that Wyckoff, able to get that one. Reach with the ball. Little mismatch. Looks back. Kubik with that deep three.
And if you're Florida State, you love that. It's an open look that time. Panya Davis able to set the flare screen for Kubik, not able to knock it down.
Alabama going for the up and under, looking for that foul, but Davis in transition with Shavers. Shavers looks, drives, tries to get it up. Good pass through Davis. It's going to be a foul. It sends Davis to the line. Good heads-up play by Shavers in order to get her teammate to the line.
And that's a really good find. Panya Davis hasn't been able to get into this game offensively as much. This time a rare scoring opportunity. And that time able to draw the foul. But Florida State, this second quarter, done a much better job of rebounding the basketball on both ends of the court. And for a team that scores so quickly, 2:28 left in this second quarter, they have a chance to you want to try to cut it to single digits before the half, and then of course make your next adjustment. And you can do that more easily if you can score without the clock moving.
Davis, the #1 JUCO player coming out of New Mexico Junior College. Not only is she a shot blocker, can produce production down in the paint. She averaged 13 points per game and 12 boards coming out of junior college. 6'6".
That's a lot of size and length right there to contend with if you're Alabama. Unfortunately, unable to get a free throw to drop.
Collins looking for the pick and roll, like I said, backdoor opportunity. Jones able to stay tough, ends up throwing it away. Florida State trying to push. 2 minutes to go in this first half. Knowles with the deep three. Good board. Davis tries to stay tough. Weathers able to scrap that out. Weathers on the move, looks, goes, Euro steps. Well, able to go to the charity stripe. Just Hartley Weathers is just so pretty. That's why she's earned the right to start. I mean, just beautiful Euro step right there.
And that time, catching Bowles back, she kind of in no man's land to a degree, and Weathers did a really good job. Bowles didn't necessarily try to foul. She was trying to get out of her way. But Weathers did a great job of drawing a little contact.
Coach Christy Curry did tell us that Weathers is just the type of kid that every coach dreams of having on their team. Not only is a team player, may not have the most points every single night, however, she does fill the stat sheet. And upon that, she's also a leader off the court. This year, she'll get her degree from the Capstone School of Nursing at Alabama, a very, very prestigious school. I can't imagine just being a nursing student and also playing Division I basketball.
Yeah, she has a lot on her plate, but she's more than capable. And when you have a player who, like you mentioned, she doesn't, maybe she's not going to score 30 points, but she does a lot of things well, and she does a lot of things that leads to winning basketball. And of course, when someone is so experienced and so trustworthy in terms of, she knows exactly what Coach Curry wants, and that's an extension of Coach Curry on the floor. That makes this Bama team very, very good.
Collins looks to drive, pass out to Weathers. Weathers again for the deep three. Looking, the Crimson Tide trying to get those second chance opportunities and those offensive boards.
And that's been the difference this second quarter. The Seminoles have done a really good job of not allowing Alabama 2 to 3 cracks at it on the offensive end. The problem is they haven't been able to turn those defensive rebounds into points.
Another flat foul on Florida State this time. #1, Mari Gurton. That is a 15 foul.
You saw Coach Wyckoff over there in the defensive stands pleading with the official, explaining what happened.
Jessica Timmons will shoot 2 from the charity stripe. Redshirt senior out of Charlotte, North Carolina. 1 minute to go, or just about 1 minute and change to go here in the opening half. Timmons is someone Had to miss all of last year, starting to find her groove. And earned her spot into the starting lineup. Alabama right away with the full court press and was able to capitalize. Nice steal and score from Ramsey.
It's a great change of rhythm, change of pace. That time catching Florida State flat-footed after the free throw.
Bonner looking for the up one, but it's going to be an offensive foul. Corley Weathers able to take that. Alabama's been trying to get that block. I mean, look at this steal and score, though. Alabama just both ends playing dominant.
That time Weathers did something you may never see again. A person takes a charge and loses their shoe on the same possession.
She did.
Listen, she was really committed to taking that charge if her shoe came off.
Alabama 7 steals so far in this opening half. Austin looks down. Good up and move from Jones, will able to head to the line.
And that time Naomi Jones did a really good job of sealing Panya Davis off, not giving her an opportunity to even contest without reaching over the top or reaching over her back. And when you have someone that has the length of Panya Davis, you have to figure out a way to root her out. And she did a really good job of creating that space and holding her position.
It will be interesting to see the halftime adjustments from Florida State. Remember, they only have 10 players on their roster. In NCAA women's basketball, you can't allow 15 on the roster, choosing not to bring 5 more in just from the high tempo. They like to play with a 10-player personnel. Alabama, once again, able to capitalize on the full court defense, gets the steal. Scott looking for that last-minute basket. Jones passes back out to Scott. Jones will try to work, but will get that 3-second call in the lane.
And that's why she had such great position that time, did not move after she passed it back out. You mentioned that you could have 15 ladies on the roster. They only have 10. As a player, I would love to only have 10.
Absolutely.
I just would, because that's more minutes for me, right? And so the issue is, if you're not playing well, or if you're in foul trouble, if someone gets hurt, it becomes a problem. But Coach Wyckoff obviously knows exactly what she's doing. She's a great coach. The leading offense in the country last season. Now here's the other part of that. You know, like today, Alabama is doing a fantastic job of playing half-court defense and not allowing the Seminoles to get out in transition and forcing tough contested shots. Florida State, these ladies, they're not going to shoot that poorly every night. And so the 10 people on the roster, that looks really good when everything's clicking. And here's the thing, it's gonna click. The ladies that they have talented players up and down that roster. It's gonna eventually click.
Yeah, and you've been seeing how aggressive they've been. And I think what's so impressive is that Coach Wyckoff has been coaching on the sideline, trying to be like, remind them, hey, proper stance. But when you think about how fast they play, returning as one of the #1 offenses in NCAA women's basketball, the conditioning program that they had to probably go through in the offseason probably is just absolutely insane.
And here's the thing, I haven't seen anybody reaching and tugging on their shorts. I haven't seen anyone ask to come out. I think they understand that this is a part of being a Seminole basketball player. We play up tempo, we play fast, and if you're not in great shape, you won't play.
Shavers brings it to the half court. 22 seconds left, getting good pressure though from Scott. Looks on the inside. Davis looks to drive, spins, tries to go up for the floater and nails it, gets the and one.
And that's really good patience by Davis that time. Caught it at the elbow, was looking to pass it off to someone else. Realized she had an opportunity to put it on the floor and score. This time, great footwork on the inside. That time, able to draw the contact. And I think for Florida State, she's going to have to be a huge part of what they do offensively, especially here in the second half, if they want to climb back into this ball game.
She has the length, she has the athleticism, she has the height, 6'6". It's just for Coach Wyckoff and her staff, just establishing that confidence with Davis.
And she's matched up against 3 very physical interior players here today. I mean, it's a tough sledding to start an exhibition season, to start your opening dress rehearsal in front of a crowd.
That basket from Austin not going to count. The referee blowing the whistle before the ball ended up going near the rim. Ace Austin with the opportunity to add a couple more points in this opening quarter. We mentioned Austin, 1A Player of the Year. Alabama Miss Basketball twice, 2-time Alabama Gatorade Player of the Year. Able to send the Crimson Tide with a little more extra insurance heading into the locker room in this first half.
And here's the thing, she's getting a chance to come out here and get quality experience against a quality roster. This isn't just the preseason stuff, you know, that's comprised of older, former players. She's actually out here against one of the, what will eventually be one of the better teams in the ACC.
Shavers looks past Florida State. Can they get one? Before the half, chucks it up. Oh, just hits off the backboard, but a fun first half. Alabama leads Florida State heading into the locker room, 42-25, thanks from the dominant offense and defense, full court press, able to execute from the three-point line, also being able to have those good execution in the paint and also getting some blocking. Second half action when we return in a packed, historic Boutwell Auditorium for the first ever women's basketball game here in Boutwell Auditorium in downtown Birmingham. We'll be right back after this.
Wilson's on top, top, top. Can't take her spot, spot, spot. She's a real one, through. Always does what she'll do.
Oh my goodness, this is a great feeling.
She won MVP, P, 1, 2, and 3. Her game is T. She made history, free. From the mid, it's a rap. All buckets, no cap. They said she wasn't enough. So she did it for us. And if you talk smack, she's gonna clap back.
You know better than that.
Her drips elite. It can't be beat. She say one is clear. Period. 'Cause it's a top tier.
Asia Wilson's on top, top. Can't take her spot.
Whatever you want, it's right there. You see it, you want it, go get it.
Asia Wilson's on top. Can't take her spot. She's a real one, through. Always does what she'll do.
Oh my goodness, this is a great feeling.
She won MVP, P, 1, 2, and 3. Her game is T. She made history, free. From the mid, it's a rap. All buckets, no cap. They said she wasn't enough. So she did it for us. And if you talk smack, she's gonna clap back.
You know better than that.
Her drips elite. It can't be beat. She say one is clear. Period. 'Cause it's a top tier.
Asia Wilson's on top. Can't take her spot.
Welcome back inside Boutwell Auditorium in downtown Birmingham. Alabama leads Florida State 42-25. And Mo, when you think about the way the first half went, Alabama slow start, however, able to get production from the three-point line, but also from their bench.
And Florida State did a really good job early. They connected on some open threes, and Alabama lost some shooters, but ultimately they were able to figure out, hey, listen, we've got to cut that off. And on the defensive end for Florida State, because of their depth, maybe they're playing a little more relaxed. They lost a couple of shooters in transition. They lost a couple of shooters in the half court as well. They gave up a ton of points in the paint, and part of that was because Alabama did such a great job of attacking off the dribble, and Florida State not quite ready to contain off the dribble this afternoon. You know what? Ultimately, for Florida State, they've got to figure out a way to limit Alabama in the second chances, which they did late in the second quarter, which is what kind of helped them get their bearings. But ultimately, really good showing for Coach Curry and her squad.
Through the first 2 quarters, both teams trying to establish offensive rhythm. However, we did see a lot of full court pressing, some dominance there, as the Alabama just able to execute on the scoop and score and able to get more points before heading into the second half. Rebounding pretty consistent. However, Mo, the difference is the assists here. Alabama able to help their team out, but also shooting 40% from the floor.
Right, and here's the other part about that 40% from the floor. 10 of those assists on 14 made field goals. For Florida State, only 2 assists on 8 made field goals, and that speaks to the ball movement. It speaks to players trying to do a little more one-on-one. Alabama did a much better job of playing together offensively.
A solid first half in the books here at Boutwell Auditorium in downtown Birmingham. Second half action to come after this.
Wilson's on top, top, top. Can't take her spot, spot, spot. She's a real one, true. Always does what she'll do.
Oh my goodness, this is a great feeling.
She won MVP, P, 1, 2, and 3. Her game is T. She made history, free. From the mid, it's a rap. All buckets, no cap. They said she wasn't enough. So she did it for us. And if you talk smack, she's gonna clap back.
You know you know better than that.
Her drips elite. It can't be beat. She say one is clear. Period. 'Cause it's top tier.
Angel Wilson's on top, top. Can't take her spot.
Welcome inside the historic Boutwell Auditorium. Mo and I are joined with a very special guest, Florida State great Natasha Howard. Natasha, thanks so much for joining us. Just got off an incredible playoff run with the Fever. What brings you to Birmingham, Alabama?
Well, first of all, supporting my Seminoles, being an alumni here, I always got to support them the best way I can when I have time on my schedule. So I'm just happy to be here to actually see them play in action.
Yeah, absolutely. And we know the identity of this Florida State team, very high tempo, coming off one of the best offenses last year. How did the playing in that offense like that help prepare you for the league when you're thinking about your transition to WNBA?
It actually helped me really well. The way at the time when Lance White was there, like the way he did the offense and defense, it was just like, okay, well, it's going to be probably the same thing when I go into the league, because thank God that I had Coach Brooke, because she played in the WNBA as well, so she was giving me the insight of the WNBA, how it's going to be quick, how people are going to be more physical than how we are in college and stuff. So that actually kind of helped me a lot going into the process of getting drafted and actually going into the league. So I'm happy that I had the opportunity to be able to be coached by her and get the insight of being a WNBA player.
And you're also teammates with with a fellow Seminole. Tell me a little bit about the chemistry that you all have together. In the common spot, being Florida State. Tell me, how does that translate to the court?
Well, me and Michaela, I've been watching her since her junior year in college. So, and I've kind of been like a mentor to her, just making sure that she's good in every aspect, off the court and on the court as well. And I'm thankful and grateful that I have the opportunity to actually play with her. So, and actually put her under my wing as a vet for the Indiana Fever. So it was amazing to guide her and actually help her grow, because she did a lot of things for her this season. Defensive-wise, she was a phenomenal defensive player in college and also in the league as well. You guys probably watched her play. She's got a couple block shots in midair, but it's just been amazing just watching her grow her first year and me just guiding her through the process and just being on her side and just showing her the ropes of being a rookie, and this is what it takes to have a long career in the WNBA.
The ladies that are on the team currently, do you get a chance to interact with them as like in moments like today? I know you're going to be around the team a pretty good bit. Do they lean on you for that same sort of mentorship?
Well, I haven't really met none of the girls yet personally, but when I do, I'll do the same thing how I did with Michaela. So I can't wait to actually meet some of the girls that's actually seniors, that if they still want to play ball, like, you know, talk to them a little bit, or, you know, if they don't want to play ball, like still have a conversation with them.
With the way that this team has played in the first half, if you were in the locker room and if you were a coach, I'm interested to see what piece of advice would you give them to make some of those adjustments in the second half?
First of all, we got to box out. Alabama getting too many. First of all, they getting too many rebounds, and they just turn around watching the ball instead of putting the body on somebody. And offense, take care of the ball. Be strong. Take the ball to the hole very strong, because right now you're not gonna get caught because you're fading away from the defender, so you're not gonna get caught. But for me, being in the locker room, I'll say one thing: defense and boxing out. Defense and boxing out.
Absolutely. Hopefully able to echo that on the court. The last question for me, you said you were sponsored by Nike. You came here. Like, look at this environment. I mean, how cool is this this isn't a actual game. This is an exhibition game. To be able to have this community, have good women's basketball played here in Birmingham, as someone that's watching this, how important is that?
This is very important. Especially for women's sports, it's growing so fast and so it's incredible. Like, actually for college as well, and just seeing this atmosphere right now, seeing the young boys and girls coming out here and just watching women's sport is really big for the next generation that's coming in, that's gonna keep building and stuff. So this atmosphere is really amazing, especially for an exhibition game. Like, I wish I had some type of experience like this in college, but like this right here is it's amazing how what college doing, and overall is how just the women's sports just growing overall. They doing a really amazing job.
They say if you build it, they will come. And
exactly.
Incredible atmosphere for this first half of action here at Boutwell Auditorium. Natasha, we thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on a great success this regular season. A Florida State legend giving some great tips to see how her team will be able to respond in this second half. We'll have more from Boutwell Auditorium. Second half action underway coming up next.
Whatever you want, it's right there. You see it, you want it, go get it.
Asia Wilson's on top, top, top. Can't take her spot, spot, spot. She's a real one, through. Always does what she'll do.
Oh my goodness, this is a great feeling.
She won MVP, P, 1, 2, and 3. Her game is T. She made history, free. From the mid, it's a rap. All buckets, no cap. They said she wasn't enough. So she did it for us. Yeah, if you talk slack, she's gonna clap back.
You know you know better than that.
Her drips elite. It can't be beat. She say one is clear. Period. 'Cause it's a top tier.
Asia Wilson's on top, top. Can't take her spot.
Second half action about to begin here in the historic Boutwell Auditorium. It is packed here. Lots of kiddos being able to skip some school and able to watch two great women's basketball teams in Florida State and Alabama. I mean, when you look at the shot chart, Alabama is able to execute on the perimeter, but also in the paint.
Well, that painted area is where you're going to see the majority of those blue circles for the Crimson Tide. 14 of 13 from the field. Did a really good job of converting when they were around the basket. A lot of second chance points, especially in that first quarter. Florida State did a much better job in the second quarter of limiting those second chance opportunities. On the flip side of that, Florida State, they take a ton of quick shots, and Alabama did a really good job of forcing them to slow down a little bit in the half court, and they did a really good job of limiting Florida State's opportunities in transition.
Yeah, Florida State just able to run and gun basically throughout the first half, trying to get to the charity stripe, trying to have those situations too. It's going to be interesting this way to see this team comes out and responds in the second half. And I know we're only in an exhibition game, but so far, both teams very impressive with the personnel, and I see a lot of potential for deep tournament runs from both Alabama and Florida State.
Well, I think the score will dictate the rotation for Alabama. They'll have an opportunity to get more players into the game. Of course, Coach Curry said they're going to play to win, but once you ran the score to a certain level, you have an opportunity to gain some valuable experience. If you're Florida State, you got to treat this sort of like a non-conference game. You're down. It's a great situational opportunity for them to learn, how do we come back? How do we find a way to chip away at a large lead on the road in a hostile environment, so to speak, as hostile as kids skipping school can be.
Shavers for deep three. Little far left on that one. Alabama will regain possession. That was the first time we've seen Florida State really run through a sequence and run through an offensive possession with a set play.
And that time Collins, what won't show up in the box score, that immediately I recognize such a great box out, undersizing his Quebec, boxed out. That ball ended up bouncing out of bounds, limiting Florida State's opportunity for an offensive rebound. You see Alabama go straight back to the paint with Cody.
Weathers with the high pass. Cody able to grab it, scoop, score. Quick offense is what really separated Alabama and made them competitive last year in the SEC. Quebec looking for the spread, the good rotation from Florida State. Davis trying to stay tough in the paint. Good defense from Cody. 2 hands straight up. Alabama on the move.
And that time Cody, great job of getting vertical. Davis not quite able to finish over the top of her in spite of having a height difference. Weathers chasing it down.
What a board from Weathers. Timmons able to get up and in and gets the and one.
And the extra possession because of Weathers crashing the boards gives Timmons an opportunity to attack a bad closeout. You see Quebec here not quite in the best position defensively. Davis with the late rotation, and that time you'd like to see Davis just get vertical and force Timmons to finish over the top of her versus swiping down.
You have to give a lot of credit to that fantastic board from Carly Weathers, be able to set Timmons up, to be able to drive and score. That's just something that Alabama really prides themselves on. It's grit, love, gratitude. That's their saying.
And there's another offensive rebound kept alive right there by Weathers.
Cody for the deep three. Not only is she dominant in the paint, but likes to occasionally step up when she has that space and knock down the three. Bonner looks for the drive, passes out to Shavers. Shavers deep three, little far off. Alabama, Cody bringing it up. Sends it back up to Collins. Collins drives on the right, looks to try and get something in the middle, won't get fouled. Florida State just kind of trying to find their footing and establish themselves defensively. Alabama capitalizing on it, will be able to have an inbounds.
That time Shay was in really good help position that time. Collins attempting to turn the corner. She's already there. There's no real reason to attack outside of, and I think Shavers is going to get a bit of a raw deal on that one because it appeared to me that Bonner actually bumped Collins a little bit before that ball came out.
Shavers trying to avoid the double team, able to get back. It goes down towards the baseline. Well, able to get up and in and get the foul. Cody not too happy about that one.
That time Shavers gets lucky. That time she's putting her head down and decided to attack and live with the result here. Of course, Coach Wyckoff gives these players a ton of freedom, and an experienced, prolific scorer like Shavers is going to have a green light in any program in the country, but especially here at Florida State.
You heard Natasha Howard say here during our halftime interview with her, she really wants them to be aggressive with attacking, continuing that. However, she feels like they need to box out, get their butt in someone's gut, be able to use their space.
Well, they've got to do a better job of getting rebounds, because ultimately you've got to have the ball in order to go score it. And you're in such a huge hole here so early in the second half. You can't afford to give up any extra possessions.
Weathers dumps it to Cody. Cody able to try to go for that left-handed scoop. Missing the bunnies though. Shavers set it back up. Williams at the point. crosses. Good D goes up for it and gets it.
That's a great use of her inside hand. That time Williams able to avoid Cody. Cody in really good position. That time Williams just a little more creative on the score.
Florida State starting to try to find their offensive rhythm here. We'll have the double team on Collins. Collins tries to go out, pass it on the foot, but timeout called by the Crimson Tide. Good opportunity, too, to be able to reset and regroup.
And that time a really good defensive possession right there from Florida State. Jumping out and trapping the ball screen. A couple of times we've seen Alabama utilize the ball screen. Ballin and Boutwell, we get back. Bama by a bunch.
Asia Wilson's on top, top, top. Can't take her spot, spot, spot. She's a real one, through. Always does what she'll do.
Oh my goodness, this is a great feeling.
She won MVP, P, 1, 2, and 3. Her game is T. She made history, free. From the mid, it's a rap. All buckets, no cap. They said she wasn't enough. So she did it for us. Yeah, if you talk smack, she's gonna clap back.
You know you know better than that.
Her drips elite. It can't be beat. She say one is clear. Period. 'Cause it's a top tier.
Asia Wilson's on top, top. Can't take her spot.
Welcome back inside Boutwell Auditorium in downtown Birmingham, Florida State. Looking to regroup and reset, trailing Alabama 46-29. Being able to get to the charity stripe early on in this third quarter. However, defensive woes and some fouling, some miscommunication, leading to some defensive struggles, allowing Alabama to capitalize offensively.
And we saw their best defensive possession so far this third quarter with the trap right in front of the Alabama bench. But Alabama's done a really good job of being intentional about going inside. You see Cody here attacking the paint.
Cody able to attack the paint, get the point. I mean, we just came out of the timeout. That was a drawn-up play specifically to have Cody finesse her strength down low.
And here's the thing, she has a strength advantage over Davis. Davis has length, Cody has size, has quickness. And that time Davis not able to keep her from getting to her left hand.
One-on-one isolation play for Cody will send her to the line. One of the returning key players for Alabama. Just being able to develop not only just a dominant post player, but also can light it up from beyond the arc when open. That's a lot of mistakes teams make. You know, she is able to, just when she has that space, she is not afraid to shoot it. And that's something that Coach Christy Curry really wants, not just Cody, but all of her bigs to be able to have that triple threat.
And I think it starts with the inside-out approach. If you're constantly scoring in the paint, it forces defenses to kind of collapse a little more, and that gives you a chance to space the floor.
Bonner up, over, looks it, will head to the line. Good play from one of the team captains of this year for Florida State, the senior guard from California. In her third season with the Noles. She played her first season at California, transferred in to be a part of Florida State's program in the high-tempo offense. Someone that Coach Brooke really looks to as a leader, being that vocal presence, and was able to get it done for the charity stripe. Just those little things, being able to execute from the foul line, do play dividends when you're looking into the final score and the final stat sheet.
Right, and they have a lot of ground to cover. It's going to take a very, very concerted effort in terms of cashing in at the foul line and creating some scoring opportunities in transition. Alabama's done a really good job of limiting that so far as we see them go back to the paint.
Really awesome high-low execution from Weathers to Cody. Just two returning from last year's roster for Alabama, has that connection. Williams looks for the deep three, and banks are open today. What a shot from number 15.
And that time, Williams able to free herself with the great inside-out crossover combination.
Austin gets to of her own. Nice drive despite the mismatch, able to up and over Kubik. And Alabama being able to execute, goes on a 4-0 run. And great defense too. Offense transitions into defense for Essence. Cody Timmons was able to set Alabama up in the motion. Weathers comes off the screen from Cody, looks for the pick and roll, smashes out to Timmons, who goes up for the three. Got it!
That time Timmons did a really good job of not trying to force that ball into Essence Cody. Alabama's been dominating the paint so far in this third quarter. That time, Cody on the roll. Timmons initially looked to feed her. Great patience, found herself open for three.
Williams able to dribble her way down the baseline and gets an extra two. Someone that's playing really hard, being a spark plug for Florida State to get them back into this game. Austin looks down to the corner. Scott looks, drives baseline out, trying to go to the opposite quarter to Timmons. But if you look at Alabama too, being able to go on that scoring run, just look at just the high-low pass, just complete unselfish basketball.
That time, Williams, as you mentioned, the bank is open. Well, it's Thursday, it's 1:16. Yeah, it's open. The bank's open. Even in Boutwell. This time, Timmons from downtown.
Pick and roll high screen. And then we have Jones heading to the line. You saw the Weathers and Cody connection. I really like how Coach Christy Curry is using her guards, being able to go aggressive off that ball screen and create the high pick and roll situations. You know, I feel like the screens sometimes in college basketball, they're important, but you don't want to overuse them sometimes.
Well, I think if you're a big for Alabama, you're doing a great job of just setting good screens. Usually the screener is the person who's going to be open.
Yes.
And unfortunately for Florida State, they're late in their rotations. Alabama's also doing a really good job of putting them in situations to where they can't actually help with anybody from the weak side because they're rolling with an empty corner. And the Alabama guards are unselfish, doing a fantastic job of just finding the bigs in places where they can score easily.
At the line is Naomi Jones, 6'4" sophomore from Jackson, Alabama. Christy Curry mentioned that she thinks that their depth this year is all in the post, being able to dominate in the down low game, especially when you think of the SEC, when you think of South Carolina, LSU, Texas, a lot of bigs down there.
You got to have a post presence. And I think, you know, maybe Cody's going to need some help, obviously, and she has a bunch of really good players that are playing alongside her, and also kind of that gives her a chance to have some relief.
Jennings knocks it down, thanks from the drive and pass from De Silva Costa. This unselfish basketball from the Crimson Tide. Green trying to go in, ball will stay within Florida State. Christy Curry looking for the travel on that, coming out to the refs on that, asking where was the travel? But Alabama able to find their footing, being able to knock it from beyond the arc. Little regroup, reset for the media timeout. Alabama leads Florida State 58-36 here in this historic day, Ballin at Boutwell Auditorium in downtown Birmingham, Alabama.
Wilson's on top, top, top. Can't take her spot, spot, spot. She's a real one, true. Always does what she'll do.
Oh my goodness, this is a great feeling.
She won MVP, P, 1, 2, and 3. Her game is T. She made history, from the mid, it's a rap. All buckets, no cap. They say
Welcome back inside Boutwell Auditorium. Mo and I are joined for the second time today, a very special guest, Alabama great and Birmingham superstar, Sarah Ashley Barker. Just came off an incredible first season with the LA Sparks. How does it feel to be back in your hometown and also being able to see a first glimpse of Alabama this year?
Yeah, it feels amazing. Obviously, being back in Birmingham, my hometown, like you said, it's so special, and it makes my heart just feel warm just knowing that that this is in Birmingham. And then obviously the team, like, I'm so proud of them. I was able to scrimmage against them on Sunday to kind of give them a look for Florida State. And I mean, as much as I'm saying I'm trying to get them better, they're getting me better. And so I'm really excited for this group. I mean, as you can tell, they move the ball, they defend well, they look collective, they look like they have good chemistry, and it's just, I mean, this is just an exhibition game. And so I think the coaches are going to be very pleased with especially the energy and just the hustle that they've had today.
Coach Lucy Murray really prides this team on unselfish basketball. How playing in her system in the final years of your career, how did that prepare you for the W?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that just, you know, she wants to play fast offensively, and the W is very fast. And so for me, that was very helpful going into my first year. And then defensively, you got to play as hard as you can. Like, nothing just is given to you. And so when Aaliyah and I were very blessed that we had coaches that did prepare us to get ready for the next level.
Talk a little bit about how your college experience, you obviously played in a great conference against a lot of pros. Talk a little bit about the differences between college game and the pro game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the physicality. Of course, I think the SEC is the best league in college athletics, and from a physicality standpoint, that did prepare me. But you know, you're not really prepared till you get into it. And then obviously too, just the speed of the game. Like, you feel like it's fast in college, but it's so fast in the league. And if you mess up one thing defensively, like, the offense is going to capitalize on that, and they're going to score. So it's like, you know, you can't be perfect always, but just how people are able to capitalize on those mistakes at a faster speed, faster level is what I noticed the most.
And the season just ended a couple of weeks ago for you. Talk a little bit about how you plan to recharge, but also kind of, you know, relax a little bit. You know, there's a healthy balance between, like, when you're grinding through a pro season, you have to find some downtime, but you also have to make sure that you're preparing yourself in the right way. Talk a little bit about your plans.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, after the season was over, I took a couple weeks off mentally and physically. I think that's very important. A lot of people don't realize how mentally just kind of getting away from the game a little bit. And it was hard because I love the game so much. I always want to be around it. But that was very helpful for me, I think, just kind of recharging and getting ready. And I kind of started working back up last week, just training and rehabbing and getting into it, and just so I kind of do that the next, you know, 2.5 months, and then I'll play in Athletes Unlimited in January, which I'm excited about. But I mean, I'm so blessed that I live 45 minutes away from Tuscaloosa because our strength coach, our athletic trainer, like, they truly have helped me so much, even in just this time period of resting and recovering. And so I'm very blessed that I get to just spend that time with them and just get after it every single day.
It's a great crowd here. There's a lot of young kids watching these ladies, hoping to someday be able to play at the next level, or even do what you did. If you had to give any of these little kids one piece of advice based on your journey and how you were able to do it, what would it be?
I would just say, you know, when I was a little girl, I loved the game of basketball, and I still love it. And so continue to love the game. Continue to try it as hard as you can. And you don't look at it as you fail in life. You look at it as whatever comes your way. It's lessons that you're learning. All the lessons that you can learn every single year, every single step in your journey. And I think just the people around you, be so thankful for the people around you, and truly make relationships with your coaches, your teammates, because that's what it's all about. When I, you know, being around them and all that kind of stuff, I'm like, dang, I missed them. Dang, I wish, you know, I could go back one more game. And so I think it's just truly love the game, give it your all, and even if you give 100% and you don't get to where you want to be, that's okay, because you know you gave it your all.
Absolutely. I love every single part of that.
Thank you.
Sarah Ashley, thank you so much for being able to join us today. Good luck in Athletes Unlimited. And once again, an Alabama great now going on to the W. Just wrapped up her first season with the LA Sparks. Make sure you check her in action. And girl, honestly, I think you should get into commentating, because that was a good analysis right there. Absolutely. Yes, Amy, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Back in action, Alabama right away. Timmons looking for able to get that jump shot. Little hits off the rim, but I mean, that was a truly special moment for us here in the broadcast booth, being able to not only interview Natasha Howard and the run that they made in the W with the Indiana Fever. But you have a kid like Sarah Ashley Barker from Spain Park High School able to do it and being able to just prove to these kids that if you put in the hard work, the opportunities are endless.
Right, and the eyes are on her. You can see little girls and boys as well watching her because she's a name and a personality that they recognize. They know she's done it, and they know she's right here from their community. And nothing inspires you more than when you can actually touch it, see it up close and personal, and it'll give them all the confidence they need to chase their dreams.
Florida State trying to cut the deficit here. Cindy Bowles able to execute on the top of the key. Shavers and Austin, one-on-one. Shavers, the veteran, putting pressure on the freshman defensively. Looks to try to go around. Austin stays with it, has that empty lane opening. Deflects it, Reish with the ball. Will set things up. Davis looking for the screen. Reish tries to roll top, so pop and drop floater. Doesn't quite get it. Alabama with the ball.
And Florida State doesn't have a lot to show for, but I gotta commend them on their effort. And Coach Wyckoff, she's staying engaged,
yes,
continuing to coach despite the score right now and yelling encouragement. And I've had a chance to look over a couple of times. Nothing but positive encouragement. And of course, this game doesn't count, but those ladies are going to remember how she responded to them when it wasn't going as well. And they're going to fight like crazy to rectify all those problems that they had here this afternoon.
When I was watching Coach Wyckoff at the ACC Media Day portal, it was really fascinating just to see how excited she was with this group, knowing that they are a constant work in progress. And the way that they play, she puts a lot of pressure on these ladies to be able to execute offensively. And I think when you have someone who's a coach, a strong female in this sport, being able to provide that guidance and just confidence with her players, it builds great team culture and morale.
Right. I love her energy on the sideline. She's done a fantastic job of continuing to yell instruction. You see here the wide open three from Weathers. You know, Alabama today has been able to find sort of a little bit of rhythm offensively, especially around the painted area. They've done a great job of knocking down their clean looks from the outside. And Florida State just hasn't been able to do that so far. But again, today is day one. It's not even October 31st. The offense is gonna click. Now, continuing to fight and play hard when you can easily say, you know what, this is over for today. It's just a practice. It's just an exhibition game. I think that also speaks to the culture of the Seminoles.
Florida State picked to finish 9th in the ACC preseason poll. For the ACC, you had Duke returning as preseason #1, the pick to win it all. You also had NC State trailing behind UNC. You know how good that battle is with women's basketball between Duke and UNC. They actually both came here for the NCAA tournament in Birmingham, and that was a game where it's just like they play each other in a home-to-home series, but it was just, I felt like I was in North Carolina. Like, there was, the whole place was blue.
Well, those two teams are definitely going to travel no matter which side of the country you put them on. The polls are so tricky, especially now because you have so much movement with the transfer portal, and you're assuming that players are going to be able to produce in a similar fashion that they produced the previous year. But part of what is not necessarily a part of the equation in the poll, preseason poll, is that you don't know the culture of the new place. You don't know the role of the new coach. The players may have to do some things differently. And just because you got 25 points per game here, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to translate. And that also affects. You know, polls are always tricky for sure. But nothing to me is more fickle than a team picked, you know, to finish 9th, and then all of a sudden they find the chemistry quicker than the team that was picked to finish 1st in the league.
Florida State looking to generate some offense. Less than a minute to go in this third quarter. Jump ball. A good defensive effort from Timmons, being able to get her hands on it. Just being able to just get a hand on it. Florida State's going to have the
great physical defense that time from Timmons on the perimeter.
Florida State for the deep three. Knowles knock it down. Thanks to Bonner, the team captain, stepping up. Alabama will face Florida State's full court. Collins looking to get it to half court from the pressure. Looks off the screen from Cody. Drives in the middle. Cody for the deep three. And wow! Stepping up, ice in her veins, confidence like no other. The crowd went wild here for that one.
I mean, the kid behind me, I thought that she was going to pull my shoulder down just then. She's literally screaming up and down. I don't know if Cody's her cousin or what, but Cody 1 for 3 from 3. And you mentioned she has the ability to stretch the floor. Done a really good job today inside the paint, but if she's able to do that in addition to what she provides on the interior, Alabama's going to be very, very tough offensively.
Davis with a 3 of her own, able to get Florida State back into that, but the star of the show, Essence Cody, just being able to step up. Ace Austin finding her groove. The high-low action pass out to the perimeter, working for the Tide. Carly Weathers, 3-ball queen, but look at here, Essence Cody. 67, 40-something, Bama leads. We'll be right back.
Whatever you want, it's right there. You see it, you want it, go get it.
Asia Wilson's on top, top, top. Can't take her spot, spot, spot. She's a real one, through. Always does what she'll do.
Oh my goodness, this is a great feeling.
She won MVP, P, 1, 2, and 3. Her game is T. She made history, free. From the mid, it's a rap. All buckets, no cap. They said she wasn't enough. So she did it for us. And if you talk smack, she's gonna clap back.
You know you know better.
Her drips elite. It can't be beat. She say one is clear. Period. 'Cause it's a top tier.
Asia Wilson's on top, top. Can't take her spot.
Women's hoops action returning back here in Boutwell Auditorium. The Crimson Tide propelled by their bench. 25 points from the bench with a 67-49 lead over Florida State. You can see the SEC preseason poll. South Carolina picked to win it. Texas, though, who made a deep run in the NCAA tournament, picked to finish second. LSU, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Ole Miss. The Tide picked to finish 9th, but they finished 20th in the NCAA final poll last season. Just a stacked conference when you think about player personnel.
Coach Don Staley, I mean, she's going to reload whether it's through the portal or it's high school or international. She's going to get exactly who she wants, of course. Adding the nation's leading scorer, Latson, to her roster this season via the transfer portal. And of course, Texas, you mentioned, we had a chance to see them here in Birmingham.
Yes.
During the tournament. Just a phenomenal job defensively. Great team. And of course, LSU and Coach Kim Mulkey. Such a top-heavy, conference. But again, the SEC, as Sarah Ashley Barker reminded us, arguably the best conference in the country.
Yes, being able to see that too. Timmons able to draw the foul, but with the SEC, South Carolina losing one of their top girls. Chloe Kitts will be out for the season, but it doesn't matter with South Carolina. They're going to be able to reload and reset just based on what Dawn Staley is able to do and who she is as a coach. Dawn Staley, though, able to address at SEC Media Days here in Birmingham. They were over in Mountain Brook. She had the question of, she did interview for the Knicks position. She could have been the first female head coach in the NBA, but she turned it down because she wants to be able to coach South Carolina. But could you imagine what a trailblazer that would be for Dawn Staley, being able to be the first female head coach in the NBA?
You know what, and I know everyone who knows basketball knows she's more than capable. She could lead any team in any part of the world because she's just that dynamic as a leader and as a teacher. I think it speaks to her purpose, to her commitment to what she feels is her purpose in regards to staying at South Carolina. And if I'm a young lady who's coming up and playing high school basketball or who's currently playing college basketball, the opportunity to come up and play for Don Staley doesn't come along often. And I think hopefully those girls are realizing just the advantage that they have.
No Crimson Tide players made the preseason all-tournament team list. However, it's the preseason. Those rankings don't matter. There we have someone who was able to finish first team All-SEC last year, Sarah Ashley Barker, watching her team on from Spain Park High School, just about 20 minutes from downtown Birmingham. But Madison Booker from Texas was picked as the preseason player of the year, the reigning preseason player of the year. But I mean, you talk about the SEC and how much depth they are. Diana Collins just being able to just leisurely go down the lane. And now with the steal, a two-way player, can she make it again? Spin up, overhead. Wow, textbook offense to defense from Collins.
And you love to see a player get a chance to benefit from their effort. Great play defensively, coming behind for the back tip. Get a chance to go and make an athletic play with a defender on her back.
Collins is just one that's been able to establish herself on this Alabama roster. Wide open lane kick, but I mean, this was the most impressive thing here. The steal, then being able to spin.
That time, great awareness, able to spin between two players, two Seminole players converging on her.
Collins taking the pressure of win the double team. Florida State will get the foul. That will be on Girton this time. We'll have to remind you, too, that there's still one more game left here in Ballin in Boutwell. The Alabama men will take on the Florida State men tonight at 7 p.m. And you can watch that game right here on the YouTube channel, the Hibbett YouTube channel, produced by our fantastic crew down in Front Productions, the best in the business here in Birmingham. So that should be a fun one. There was only 20 tickets remaining when we started this game here for the women's game that we were talking to the Alabama personnel. So just great crowd, just great basketball to get this state into that mindset, because I know football is key here. However, basketball, the state of Alabama is legit.
Well, basketball is definitely making a run for 1B, maybe. I know a lot of people here love football, but I think what helps is when you're winning, you're playing well, it draws people there. As we see here, Bowles able to connect in spite of the foul right there, a little snake bite on the elbow from Collins. And Bowles continuing to play Coach Wyckoff at half court, yelling instructions to her team, imploring them to continue to fight and to learn right now. You mentioned the game tonight, only 20 tickets left. Here's the thing, they have a really, really tough act to follow, right? Because Sanford and Alabama A&M, it literally came down to one shot. Last night, Auburn and Oklahoma State, overtime. So tonight, I'm expecting like a triple overtime, half-court buzzer beater from somebody in order to live up to the hype of what's been happening here at Boutwell all week.
Good motion and dribble penetration from Jennings, who was able to come off the curve and able to get that one in for the Crimson Tide. Florida State looking to set up Bowles with the ball. Passes out to Shavers. Shavers drives on her right. Be a foul on the ground. I mean, just beautiful execution off the motion offense for Alabama.
And that time, Florida State not able to help again. If you help ball side, there's going to be a three-point shot in that corner. Alabama doing a really good job of forcing Florida State into ball screen action and dribble handoffs where they do not have opportunities to help, have weak side help.
Bowles looking for the mismatch. Well, able to get her body up and over for the foul. Alabama trying to defend that one, just had a hand in that one, having the ref call it. Send Bowles to the line once again. Someone that has not given up this entire game. And I mean, when you're the team captain, you're that vocal and physical leader, you have that presence, and Bowles making sure her presence is known despite what the score says.
Right, and here's the thing, like you're not gonna be winning every game. Like you're not gonna come out and have 30 points every night. But Bowles is the return leading scorer for Florida State. She's gonna have a lot of responsibility along with Shavers on the offensive end. And so she's gonna have to play through when you are one of the best scorers, you're going to have to play through a lot of contested shots, a lot of double teams, a lot of attention. And so for her, she may as well get used to it. She doesn't have the luxury that she had last year.
Good spot from Green to give Florida State the possession. Ball sets it up, goes for the long three. Good pass though down low to Treadwell, who's able to execute, go up, and we'll head to the charity stripe.
Yeah, if I'm Bowles, I would definitely say that was a pass. I saw you all the way. That time maybe a little bit of fatigue getting into the legs of Bowles. Here they Treadwell in the right spot for the offensive rebound and the putback opportunity, but she'll have to go and earn it from the foul line.
Avery Treadwell on the line for the Noles. Someone that's getting her groove, working her way to get more and more minutes as the seasons go on. She had 11 blocks last season. She had 3 blocks within 11 seconds in their win over George Mason. She was super crucial defensively for them last season. It's just that this team is loaded. They have great personnel with a lot of potential.
Well, I think if you're on the Florida State roster, you got to know minutes are going to come. Now, you've got to be able to make the most of those minutes. With only 10 players on the roster, you're definitely going to have an opportunity.
Good pass from Jennings, was looking down to try to set up Joya Egbuna for the first time we've seen her this season. Reach deep three from the corner. And just like that, Florida State getting some momentum. Coach Wyckoff pretty happy with the way they were able to set up Reach with that one. And just like that, Florida State finding some luck, some grit, and some determination from beyond the arc. Beautiful three from Reach. Nails it. Florida State trails Alabama 77-59 in this fourth and final quarter. And Ballin and Boutwell. We'll be right back after this.
Whatever you want, it's right there. You see it, you want it, go get it.
Angel Wilson's on top, top, top. Can't take her spot, spot, spot. She's a real one, through. Always does what she'll do.
Oh my goodness, this is a great feeling. She won MVP, P, 1, 2, and 3. Her game is T. She made history, from the mid, it's a rap. All buckets, no cap. They said she wasn't enough. So she did it for us. And if you talk smack, she's gonna clap back.
You know you know better than that.
Her drift's elite. It can't be beat. She say one is clear. Period. 'Cause it's a top tier.
Angel Wilson's on top, top. Can't take her spot.
Fourth quarter action continuing here. 6:20 left to go in this ball game. Alabama will take the ball out of bounds. But right away, Alabama just being able to fill up the stat sheet. 32 points in the paint in this game, but 29 points from the bench for Alabama.
And the bigger number for me is just the 16 assists on 26 made field goals. If you look at the second half scoring in the third quarter and the fourth quarter, it's been even. The difference is the type of lead that Alabama was able to build. Florida State hasn't been able to really cut into it because they've been playing, like I said, even this second half, just not able to get enough stops. And that's due to Alabama's committed decision to go inside and continue to dominate the paint.
Essence Cody, 12 points on the day, but Jessica Timmons, the guard with 16, leads the Crimson Tide in scoring. Sends it back out to Jennings. Jennings stops, pops, looks for the floater. Knowles able to recover. Here comes Sydney Bowles. Leads the team in scoring right now, 17 points on the day. The team captain drives, stops, tries to get something up, and she does.
That time, able to just muscle it through Weathers' upper body that time. Weathers in initially pretty good position defensively.
It's just with Sydney Bowles, she knows what it takes to be able to drive. Being able to use her upper body to levitate over, being able to get that one in for the Knowles. Ace Austin brings the ball up. Looking to set something up, drives, looks, stops, tries to go for the basket. Florida State recovers. Williams in transition, looking for Green on the opposite side. Treadwell in the paint, up, over, floats it in.
He has a nice game, nice ability to get to the paint, really quick off the bounce, and can make perimeter shots.
Soleil Williams just coming in her first season, making an impact. Was the starting point guard at Texas A&M, joining Florida State this season. She's a distributor, knows what it takes to be able to capitalize. Austin able to go up and under. It's incredible to me the confidence that Austin has as a freshman in her debut as a member of the Crimson Tide.
And that's a great job by Austin, backdoor cutting when seemingly the only safe place was for her teammate to throw her. Jennings got kind of hung up a little bit at the elbow area.
I mean, this with Austin, she's 5'7". She's acting like she's 6'1", 6'2". There's that confidence, just being able to find her way into the lane and get those sneaky points.
Well, that time, Tatum Green did her a little bit of a favor by leaving her feet. I think if she'd have stayed on the ground, she would have been able to contest more effectively.
Looks up to Cody, dumps it. Cody will go to the line. The foul on Kubik right there. Essence Cody just being able to dominate the high-low game, just dump it into the post.
And that's time a really good pass from Ace Austin that time. Kubik was in pretty good position initially, got there kind of late. I thought she might have made a play on the ball while it was in the air. And that time getting called for the foul. She doesn't agree, but
You saw from her reaction with her not agreeing.
Yeah, but I got to agree with the ref.
I do. It was like when she went up on the replay, you could just tell she thought she was straight, but it was her upper body leaning one way that is what the official called the foul on. Bowles through traffic, tries to go all the way down. Austin with a little bump. Sydney Bowles. Little tongue twister there. I mean, 17 points on the day so far. I understand why she was voted as team captain from her teammates and her peers.
Well, Alabama has done a really good job of forcing these Seminole guards into having to take multiple dribbles every time they touch the basketball. And that's whether they're pressuring out of the zone or whether it's man-to-man. They're doing a really good job of forcing them to work. And that time Bowles was able to kind of weave through everybody, just kind of got bumped in the back. But to be honest, you would love for whoever has the ball to be able to get off of it a little more quickly. And for the Seminoles, the last 4 minutes or so, you want to see them make that adjustment if you're Coach Wyckoff.
Alabama will get the ball under the basket. Florida State moving up. Coach Wyckoff calling that full court press here. Ramsey gets it to Austin. Austin up the sideline. Get Alabama set up to some things. Looking for something, gonna reset based off one of the calls from Curry. Austin going off the screen. Florida State able to read it double. Shavers in transition now, looks up, goes one-on-one, up and over. Wow.
That's a really difficult shot, driving with her right hand, jumping off her right leg. Can't quite get square to the basket when you're going same leg, same hand. Just tremendous strength and body control from Shavers.
Collins one-on-one with Shavers, goes up, over, looks for one herself. Kubik with the board. Florida State looking to push up. Williams with her hand up, looking. Girton to Shavers. Shavers drives on the left side, tries to go up and over to get two. looks to draw the foul, doesn't get it. Alabama with more white than red down there. Cody. Oh, wow. Second open three of the night, forcing Florida State to take the timeout. What a performance from one of Alabama's leaders. But look at Shavers, though, being able to get up and over Cody for that basket. But it's just the star of the show, Essence Cody. Incredible. With confidence, and she knows it too. Alabama with an 83-67 lead, and now I'm starting to wondering when we'll see some more rotation. Alabama's done a really good job of getting most of their players in, but I would expect to see Austin playing a lot more, but definitely give some people who didn't get some time last year due to injuries some reps.
Right, and I think, it's been the perfect opportunity today because of the lopsided score. And again, it's exhibition, it's practice, but it's not like an exhibition game where you're not playing a very formidable opponent. You're playing against, these ladies will start for Florida State. These are ladies that will play the bulk of the minutes in the ACC this season. And so getting a chance to get your freshmen out there, getting a chance to get players who are coming back off injuries, is very, very important to help build their confidence and get them acclimated to what you'll need from them this season.
Davis staying tough, trying to get that one in. Weathers with the board. Alabama on the move. Timmons will set things up. Weathers going reverse, goes up, passes it out. Scott for that long three, trying to get it. Shavers with the ball. Florida State, less than 3 minutes ago in this one. Shavers picks up her dribble, looks for the pass out. Bama defense tight. Miscommunication. And Alabama ball.
And it's just been that sort of a day for the Seminoles. Alabama doing such a fine job defensively, just forcing players into taking more dribbles than they actually need to take.
Collins at the point for the side, sets things up. Timmons. Shavers.
Oh, that's old
got in
veteran
the
move.
foul.
When I first saw her reach for her, I smiled because I recognized, at a certain point, and maybe not right now, but at a certain point, that becomes sort of an old school veteran move. They're reaching for you, she's reaching, you just sort of pull her and you grab her. And that time, in a few years, if she's in the WNBA, she won't get that called against her.
Look, Chrissy Curry not happy about it. You can see Sarah Ashley Barker on the right side of your screen just laugh at her coach. I mean, this is a coach that fights for her girls. I mean, Chrissy Curry not happy about that call because when you're trying to, it just comes with the double-edged sword of how physical can my guys go without trying to get the foul? Or, it just kind of depends on the ref's mood as well.
Well, here's the thing. It's probably a foul. It's probably an offensive
Yes.
foul. But, again, like I said, as a former basketball player, I can appreciate the gamesmanship to a degree. Player reaches for you, just kind of pull them towards you a little bit. Usually their official doesn't call it against you. But, again, she's a couple of years away from that play.
About 90 seconds and change to go. Simmons with another three of her own. Florida State looks, drives, Girton gets it in on that one. Amaya Bonner, on that one.
Seminoles, they have some relentless offensive threats from the perimeter. Bonner and Bowles, of course, today didn't make as many shots as they would have liked.
Collins looks for the step back. Cody tries to get the board. Kubik able to muscle that one. Davis trying to get something, able to maintain. Gets the foul from behind. The refs are going to call that. I don't know if they call it on Weathers or Cody on that. It was on Cody. That was her third of that one. Didn't know if they were coming from behind or when she planted her feet, were able to go up. Looks like the refs were calling it when she was going up.
The last thing either one of these coaches want to see is someone go down with any type of injury with 71 seconds left to play.
Davis gets it in. Really good at the charity stripe during her time at New Mexico Junior College. Someone who will be getting a lot of minutes. Nails it from the charity stripe. Being able, with running a 10-player personnel, being able to late in this game with the way how aggressive they play and the tempo, being able to nail those free throws down the end when you're exhausted. Big, 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 big.
And still pressing.
Yes, and still pressing, relentless. Silva Costa heads out to Jennings. Jennings looking to break that press. Girton versus Austin. About a minute to go here in Boutwell Auditorium. To Silva Costa, Jennings, good motion. Jennings picks up her dribble. Scott, up, in, looks for it. Jennings with the board. Sets it back out to Austin. Coach Curry calling something from the sideline. Pass out to the corner for 3. Good board. And I didn't know if they're going to call over the back, but they're going to call a foul on number 32, Avery Treadwell, on that one. That is her 5th personal foul. Being able to come out of that one. No, not the outcome you want, but good aggressiveness down below. They're trying to fight for the rebound.
And the foul trouble did not bite the Seminoles in terms of not having a ton of depth today. But again, it's a learning opportunity. Treadwell, she's going to be called upon. You know, you mentioned the 3 blocks in 11 seconds or so that she had to do. She's going to have to come out and play meaningful minutes when games are being decided because they just don't have enough bodies. And she's one of their larger players between her, Quebec, and of course Davis. She's going to have to come out and give them minutes at the 4 and the 5.
Ty looks for one more in transition to Silva Costa, runs and tracks it down, keeps her dribble up overhead. This is what Coach Christy Curry mentioned we'll be able to see. Her athleticism, her court awareness, her IQ, able to go up and down the court, chase it down, and execute. Goodness gracious.
And here's the thing, she's surrounded by 3 players here. She's able to maintain her dribble, get control of the basketball, and then have enough focus to put it off soft off the glass, didn't rush it when she got fouled. She's a freshman, but by January, I could easily see her being a really, really good rotational player for the
Final
Tide.
seconds winding down. Quebec looks for the up and over. Ref will call it clean. 10 seconds to go. Alabama in their first appearance. And Ballin and Boutwell will pull out a 91-71 lead win. Doesn't go towards the record, but a good start to the season. Coach Christy Curry mentioned that they wanted to play to win, and this team flexed their depth, their physicality, and found a way to win.
Well, I think what we saw here this afternoon definitely helps them because it gives them sort of a foundation of what they can do, what they do well, what their identity is going to be on the offensive end. Of course, defensively, we saw them come out and pressure one of the best teams in terms of scoring offense. They came out and essentially forced them into a really, really rough shooting afternoon. And I think if you're the Alabama Crimson Tide, you've got to be feeling pretty good about where you are on October 16th.
Head coach Christy Curry will join us momentarily after she has a few words with the team, but we have to mention how impressive Florida State was. They only have 10 players that they roster, able to get everyone minutes. I mean, once they find their footing in the offense, will come for the Noles.
Yeah, I mean, Florida State's going to be fine. Like that, to me, I wouldn't have any worry or concern whatsoever in regards to their ability to score points. They're going to be able to manufacture points because they play a great pace, with great pace, and they have great scores at the guard position, and they have enough experience on the inside with Quebec and a talented JUCO transfer in Panya Davis. So I'm not concerned at all about Florida State's ability to come out and compete when the game starts to count.
Head coach Christy Curry, but making our way towards us. Right now, she'll join us. She's walking towards us, looking over the stat sheet. You can hear the crowd, a lot of the kiddos here trying to get autographs from some of the Alabama players. Have coach put on that headset for us. Definitely an impressive win for the Crimson Tide. Just waiting on coach looking at that stat sheet.
She's circling her favorites.
She's
circling the things that
Those
matter.
are your favorites now. Coach, first of all, congratulations. You mentioned that you wanted to see this team play to win. How were they able to execute on both sides of the ball?
You know, I thought we came out and were aggressive, and really took good care of the basketball against a really good defensive team to only have 14 turnovers, and then we won the boards. I love the fact that we, got to the free throw line 32 times. We've obviously got to work on our free throws a little bit more, but I loved our balance. I loved our bench play. I thought our bench really was the difference, and I think it can continue to be throughout the course of the year.
Coach, talk a little bit about your dominance in the paint, 36 points in the paint. Also, one of the things that I always take a look at is the assists to field goals made, 19 assists to 30 made field goals. Talk a little bit about how your team shared the ball.
Yeah, it's so important to play off 2 feet. We got to play inside out, so that's getting the ball to the paint on a post touch or off the bounce and finding the open person. So it's an unselfish group. It's the culture we've built, and we expect to share the basketball.
Essence Cody, not only dominant down low, but those 2 threes, she was able to step up wide open. How much confidence does that build with her and being able to just be able to execute on all cylinders?
She's really worked on her perimeter game. We want her no hesitation to shoot that. I look forward in certain situations of playing her at the 4 and Naomi Jones at the 5 some. And we just love her versatility. She's really worked on her perimeter, and we want her to step out and face up. And I thought she did some really good things today. And her and Naomi played through some foul trouble. So I love this team. We've got a ton of potential. The biggest room in the house right now is the room for improvement. There's so many things today that we can get better at. And it's not about the score. It's just about seeing a different color jersey. But I loved our kids' response. What an incredible event. The state of Alabama, so many little girls, so many folks. Really amazing event. So we want to thank Nike and Hibbett, and Night Edie for having us. It's really special for women's sports in the state of Alabama today.
Coach Curry, we thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on the win. Best of luck this
Thank you.
upcoming
Thank
season.
you.
The Crimson
Roll
Tide
Tide.
dominant on all cylinders today. A fantastic event here at Ballin in Boutwell. The men's team for Alabama will take on Florida State men's 7 p.m. tonight. A great event. Ballin and Boutwell will continue. You can find all the action on YouTube. A fantastic day. Alabama connects on all cylinders, wins this one 91-71 over Florida State. Thanks to the scoring of Essence Cody and Jessica Timmons. Thanks so much to our down in front production crew for a wonderful production. For Mo Finley, I'm Ariel Schaefer saying so long in Ballin in Boutwell. Let's hope that there's going to be another one next year to continue to grow the women's game. Have a great rest of your Thursday. We'll see you right back here next time for some more women's hoops action.